Mattie Mondays, where we do music in different ways. I guess friends ain't be dropping gems. Always keep it genuine. Knowledge, power, and some funny. Every week, every Monday. Pure, real, and honest. Tap in, leave a comment. You tune in to Mattie Mondays. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mattie B, and we are back around another 7 days for another episode of Mattie Mondays, where we do music in different ways. You guys have beat me here. So let me go right to the comments. If you are new to this space, tonight we are going to be covering the topic of You Deserve a Reset. That is the title of the show. We are going to get into it. And I'm going to have you guys let me know, do you feel me? Okay. All right, let's get into these comments and let's see who has made their way into the building so far. All right, we got musician Taylor's in the building saying greetings, Mattie Mondays members. We got Chevy in the building saying greetings, Mattie Monday community. Absolutely. Natalia, what's up? Natalia's in the building saying good evening, everyone. We got Twin in the building saying, hey, good people. Natalia says, y'all feel me. Yes, we are going to get into, I think, a much needed topic. A lot of the times, the ideas that come for the evening, for the topic of the evening, if it's not directly inspired by events or music that's dropping, it is through conversation with family and friends, observation of the outer community, or internally something. And a lot of times it's both. So that is the confirmation. Just being able to tap in and just get a feel of what everybody needs, being in tune with my personal needs as well, and blending those. But we are going to get into it. Before we get started, real life is always occurring. So I want to send some extra special love to our community. Today is a day of remembrance for a special extended family member of our community. So I'm sending love your way. You know who you are and what I'm talking about. And I also want to send some love to my family. We lost a matriarch just yesterday in our family. So definitely want to say to my family, I love you. I am definitely here from afar and feeling those feelings with you. So just another reason to make sure that we are giving thanks and telling one another that we love each other and being present as much as possible. So yes, I'm grateful, I am thankful, but life is definitely occurring. So I'll sending some extra special love, virtual hugs and kisses to our Mattie Mondays family and our family extended even beyond everybody that touches us that we touch. So definitely sending that love. We got Aunt Tan in the building. How are you, Aunt Tan? Good to see your name in the space. We got Angel in the building. What's up, girl? Hey, Angel. Thank you for popping in here this evening. Ace is in the building. How are you, my brother? I have not seen you in a minute. Talk to you in a little while. Ace says, what's happening? What's happening, man? Thank you for popping in here and saying what's up, showing the room some love. Thank you so much for that, everybody. Chev, we appreciate that. I received that on behalf of my family. Let me get in here. Thank you, Natalia, as well. Thank you, Twin, Grinding ENT. And thank you so much, Aunt Ann. Definitely appreciate it. And I'm grateful for my family, my mom, my sisters, my brother, that are there, that are always representing myself. That is a blessing. Not being in the state where the majority of my family is. But again, super grateful, thankful for you guys. And again, another reminder that a reset is deserved for a lot of us. It is needed, and gratitude should be a consistent piece and formula inside of our day and in our lives, because things will always continue to shift. So being thankful for the now is very important, especially when the turbulence is not as great as it can be. All right, so we're gonna get right into it. I am not going to hold you guys too long, but class is about to be in session. Again, oftentimes the conversations that come for Mattie Mondays for our community um, is a reflection of what's going on internally, and also what I observe outside of myself. So just in conversation, just being at this space. Our last conversation on resetting was in March. So I think as a community, we are well overdue for this conversation, and just a reminder of how it could look in our lives and when to recognize even that we need it. So let's get into it. I put my face up on the screen for this cover art. This is the original one, that's on social media. But since I'm doing no face, no case on you guys once again, here is my face right here. So I'm here. It's me. It's me, Mattie, on the other side. If you are just now joining us, you have caught the very, very top of the start of our conversation on deserving a reset. You deserve a reset. So let's get into it. First of all, how do we know? So let's get into some general red flags and signs that you might need one. You keep saying, I just need to get through this week. Every single week. Every week is a repeat of you just trying to hang on and hold on with the energy that exists. The second one, you feel like you're operating on autopilot. That is very, very common. I think I can relate to that one a bit here, just in this last week. And the third one, you've lost interest in what once inspired or energized you. And these are just a handful of some signs. Also, be reminded that if you are in this space, and even when you hit this space, because we all do, right? We're all set on cycles of life and world and energy and momentum. But if you relate to this need, it doesn't mean you're weak. It means that you are human, and taking time to reset is an act of strength, not surrender. It's an act of strength and not weakness. All right, so we're gonna get right into it. As we have this conversation, you guys know that the conversation is always open. You can chime in, you can hop in. I will have my eyes on the chat. And as I read through these, it is an open conversation for all of us to acknowledge that we might see ourselves in it, maybe share some tips on how we're handling it. So whatever comes to mind, I definitely always have open space for you to share and just drop your thoughts in the chat for us. All right, so let's keep it rolling. All right, so we're gonna get into some signs that you need to reset. Recognizing the signs that you need a reset mentally, physically, and spiritually. So we're focusing on these three categories like we often do, because they are all very important. But recognizing the signs in these three areas is crucial to avoiding deeper burnout, disconnecting, or health issues, which is ways that it often shows. We got Imani in the building. What's going on, Imani? Thank you for being here. We are just embarking on a conversation on signs that you need a reset. So we are going to journey on. And let me get over here back into this chat. All right. So let's start with actually I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna start with why it's important. Let's go with yeah, let's start on green. Why it's important. All right, let's get it. All right, why you deserve a reset. Let's go here. Let's start affirmative first. First and foremost, mentally, um, it is to combat burnout, which we all have felt and feel in different cycles of life in different areas. When we are constantly mentally stimulated, having to make decisions, and stress without a rest leads to burnout for sure. Um, Resetting helps clear our cognitive or mental overload. So mentally, we need to reset, to recharge, to turn off at times. And I know for me personally, that's really, really difficult to do. Second, to improve focus and creativity. Mental fatigue dulls our problem solving and creativity. A mental reset gives space for new ideas and sharpens thinking. So even when those life decisions are hitting us, when we're overwhelmed, when we need a reset, when we're on the verge of burnout or in the midst of it, it's harder to make those clear and unfogged decisions. So being clear mentally um, is very, very important. Emotional regulation. Stress and overstimulation can cause emotional instability. Resting mentally helps regain balance and control. This is a big one. Emotional regulation. Stress and overstimulation can cause emotional instability. So when we're snapping on people that we know we don't that don't deserve it, when we're short with people, and it's like you can't even control it. These are those signs, and why we really need these resets. Still within the mentally, clarity and perspective. Stepping back allows people to reevaluate situations more objectively and make healthier decisions. When we are feeling this fatigue, this is very, very important. Again, from our personal relationships to work issues, or work projects that we're covering, all of the things that require us to be sharp mentally and to be present will take an effect. There's no way around it. Will be hit. So having this reset, finding ways to gain this reset is important. Mental health maintenance. Just like our physical health, mental health requires care and intentionality. Pausing helps prevent anxiety and depression from escalating. I don't know. I could definitely speak for myself, but sometimes a sign for me personally in my body and in my spirit that I can tell that I need a reset is when I start to get emotional. Now I could sit down and have a great cry with a good show or a good movie. That's like a normal thing. But when I find myself just in spots or moments where I just start to get emotional or want to cry, and I there's nothing really that I can pinpoint um that triggers it, that is a clear sign to me that either I need some rest, um I need to like reset and just hone in and focus in on some type of whether it's my Bible or some type of um message that is positive and reassuring. But that is a clear sign for me that I need it. That's a way that it shows up. All right, physically, why you deserve to reset. Healing and recovery. Our body needs downtime to repair from our daily wear and tear, especially from physical labor or stress. Very, very short and clear. I know none of us um, will negate this need. Again, our body needs downtime to repair from daily wear and tear, especially from physical labor or stress. And a lot of times, it's work, the work requirements that we all have to pick up and be accountable for every day. Number two, boost immune function. Chronic stress weakens our immune system. Um, Everything I believe that we go through and that we deal with will show physically eventually. I think that is a fact. I've lived long enough to experience it, and I've lived long enough to see it in the people that I love and care about and in my community. So our physical, our mental, our spiritual, our mental burnout will show in our bodies through illness. So we need to reset and rest to strengthen it. to reduce these possibilities, and specifically things like illness and inflammation. So it's super, super important. Third, restore energy levels. Sleep and physical rest replenishes energy stores, which are essential for productivity and endurance. We need it. We need it. Again, we know I've been all out in the open, and on display that my sleeping habits are not the best. Now I have had some pockets of time here lately where I've been doing good, but it was involuntarily, um, coming home and crashing. But I definitely felt better getting to bed by 12, popping up 6:30, 6 o'clock, and getting on with the day. But getting that physical rest is important. Why you deserve it. Number four, five, excuse me, no, four, physically. It prevents injury. Over exertion leads to strain and injury. Resetting, resting reduces the risk and supports long-term wellness. Just like that. Hormonal balance. Physical rest supports balanced hormones like cortisol, melatonin, and insulin, which affect mood, sleep, and metabolism. The reality is all of these areas, mentally and physically, they will cross over and play on how we show up when we are in a space of burnout or needing to reset. So again, you deserve it. How we implement it is definitely important, and it is important that I am responsible and we are responsible with acknowledging that it's not as simple, um, as we can just speak about it, because I know everybody has to get up, go to work. Everybody has responsibilities. Some of us have families that we have to look after, other people that we have to take care of. So I know it's not as simple. So we're going to get into some practical ways to implement it, but addressing it and acknowledging the need first and foremost is most important, and how we get to the solutions. All right, spiritually, why you deserve to reset. Number one, reconnect with purpose. A rest allows space to reflect on values, beliefs, and the direction of one's life. I think a lot of times when our purpose becomes unclear, um, we can start to feel and see signs of burnout, or depression. Um, all of those things are in the same bucket. So reconnecting with what matters most with us, and the direction that we want to go in this moment is very important. I think in moments we all might lose a hand on it, and maybe not too much of it, but I think it happens, and catching ourselves when we start to slip is important. Inner peace and grounding. Stepping away from chaos creates space for inner stillness and spiritual grounding, whether this chaos is at work or at home, and sometimes in our mind. And that's something that we really need to talk about, because we can't get away from that, right? But we can exercise tools to calm our mind and to control some of the thoughts that come, some of the thoughts that we hold on to, and some of the thoughts that we release. But inner peace and grounding is a huge, part, and I think one of the most important parts of getting to an appropriate reset, getting back balance, and recovering from burnout. Number three, cultivating gratitude. Spiritual resets often encourage reflection, leading to a deeper sense of appreciation for life and relationships. Once again, cultivate gratitude. That's a big one. We start the show with every day. Gratitude for me is a like a mini reset every day. Because even if I'm not feeling my best, and even when I am, it's still an extra boost and a reminder, and a focus for my mind and my spirit and my heart to look at what is right, what is good, what is well. So cultivating gratitude. Spiritual resets often encourage reflection, leading to a deeper sense of appreciation for life and relationships. Number four, on the spirituality side, release of negative energy. Letting go of emotional baggage, bitterness, or guilt creates room for healing and growth. Letting go of emotional baggage, bitterness, or guilt creates room for healing and growth. Releasing of negative energy. Super, super important. A lot of times, this is what's weighing us down. And the heaviest, the things that we cannot even see, that no one else around us can see, but they can feel it. We can feel it on one another. But releasing the negative energy, um, most importantly, the emotional baggage that we are carrying around with us, is important to getting a true and real reset, um, getting back to center, getting lighter, and walking through our day better and healthier. And the fifth one under the spirituality tier is deepen connection to ourselves, others, and our higher power. Spiritual rest fosters deeper relationships, whether with ourself, nature, community, or a higher being. All right, so I'll see you guys in the comments. Amen. Musician Taylor says, Amen. I'm going to take that for across the board. All right, so let me get back over here. So let me just ask outright, on a scale of 1 to 10, because I know it's not always 100% clear. But where are we on our burnout meter? We'll say 10 being at burnout, 0 being like at a like great space of energy and focus and momentum. So where are you on the scale of burnout? 10 being right there on the cusp of burnout, like in the midst of it, like clearly you are there, and 0 being in a great, clear, focused, and momentous space. For me, I definitely am leaning towards burnout. I will definitely say so. I'm above a 5. I will probably, in this moment in time, give myself, I think, a 6 or 7. I think I'm on the verge of a 6 or a 7. All right. Twin shares a 3. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. So in a great space. That's good to hear. KK, I think it's KK. Hey KK. Thank you for being in here. A 10. All right, Kate, we're gonna circle back to this. So a 10, you're in the midst of full burnout. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that. We're gonna come back to that for sure and talk through some ways that are practical that we can start to lessen it. Chevy shares between a 5 and 6 right now because I'm recharging for travel. Heard that. And that recharge is probably keeping you below that peak point. All right, thank y'all for sharing that. Yeah, I think I'm a solid 6-7 in this moment. Um, and for me personally, I believe it's on accounts to needing better rest. I think in moments I'm getting more rest, but better rest. Just some life shifts that have occurred. Um, some emotional strain that exists that I am like cutting away at. Definitely, I am cutting away at and doing my best to be intentional about getting it off of me. But those are some things I think that are peaking my number up to that 7. Angel shares, I am a 10 with the USA. That is one thing I have not specifically said and shared, but absolutely, our outer environment, this world environment, is a huge stressor and strain on our community and our family and friends. So a 10, especially even with just considering that, absolutely, I can understand that. Thank you for sharing that, Angel. All right, so I opted to work backwards, with jumping into the intentionally colored green slides that kind of gave us some areas of why we need and deserve the resets, and then we're going to get into some of the signs where I just kind of shared, I think, some of the things that are like pushing me towards needing this reset, and then we're going to talk about some ways that we feel like we can practically incorporate it, and some ways that we all will personally commit to it. What's up? We got Jaree in the building. Thank you for popping in and showing love. Jaree has a birthday on the way. Her birthday is this Wednesday. So everybody show some love and give a happy birthday to our friend, Jaree. Crystal is in the building. C Styles says, hello, family. Thank you for being here always. And she shares the family is listening. So thank you for sharing that. Hello, family. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Mama and Crystal, for being there and representing me. So they are my reflection in this moment. I hope and will plan to be home soon. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And trust me, I am here with you. All right, Chevy. Chevy says, "Happy birthday, Brenda Jury." You play all day. And 10 shares. I'm at a sound 10. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, we're definitely gonna take some moments to talk through how we can dial some of these 10s back, dial my 7 back, dial Chevy's 5 to 6 back, get closer to twins 3, and just closer to 0 on that scale of being back in flow a lot lighter, a lot lighter, where our body and our minds and our spirits need us to be. Jaree said you play too much. Angel says happy birthday, Jaree. Thank you for that. Crystal says happy birthday, Ree. I think Ree about to be 25 on Wednesday. That's what's up. Happy birthday to you. All right. So let's hop into. I did promise I will not keep you long, which we have been doing a very good job at these days. In and out. Twin. Chevy said twins show us the way. Please, I know twin been rolling, so being able to manage that's excellent to hear. All right, so once again, I intentionally started with the green, to go right into why we deserve the reset. But let's get into some signs that we need it. How does it show? So mentally, if we're constantly overwhelmed, feeling mentally cluttered, like your thoughts are racing and never ending, that is a sign mentally that you need a reset, and you might be creeping towards her in the midst of burnout. You have a short fuse, increased irritability, impatience, or emotional reactivity over small things. A clear sign, and we often see it. We saw it coming up as adults. Now we see it in ourselves, and we understand why our parents were snapping on us. They were overwhelmed. They were feeling burnout. They were dealing with things that we could not grasp and understand in the moment. So short fuse is a very, very, very clear sign. Lack of focus, struggling to concentrate, make decisions, or complete tasks you normally handle with ease. Absolutely, I could see that in myself in these moments. For me specifically, just taking longer with some tasks that usually don't take me as long. That's how it's showing up, which is really fighting through just being tired. Number 4, feeling numb or disconnected. Emotionally flat or detached from things that once brought you joy or meaning is a sign mentally of needing a reset. Number 5, negative thought loops, persistent self-doubt, pessimism, or anxious overthinking is a big sign mentally that you are reaching burnout or in a need of resetting and deserving of reset. Chev says happy birthday to Greg Smith. Shout out to Greg Smith. Happy birthday to you. 10 sending some happy birthday love. And twin shares, I wake up reading the Bible. Once I wake up and pray, and I pray. I started to give a lot of my issues to God. Amen. Amen. Thank you for sharing that, twin. That is a huge thing. I know in this space we can definitely speak clearly and boldly, with a knowing that everybody is understanding of where God sits in most of our lives, and that is a huge share, twin. Thank you for that. God has definitely been um, more, even more in conversation, even when I'm just laying in the bed awake at 1, 2, 3 in the morning, just having conversation with God, asking for clarity, asking for understanding, and just being direct and telling them what I need, and absolutely praying for my family, but being direct, making room and space and silence, and stillness for him. Chevy said, "Amen, Deacon Twin." Absolutely. All right. Physically, how can we tell? What are the signs? Chronic fatigue, always tired, no matter how much sleep you get. It's a huge one. Sleep disturbance, trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up feeling unrested. Frequent illness, catching colds or other ailments more often due to a weakened immune system. Again, this stress, this fatigue, these emotional battles, these mental battles, they will show in our body. And these are ways. Number 4, tension or aches. Headaches, back pains, or muscle tension with no clear physical cause. And number 5, lack of motivation. Even basic tasks like eating well, exercising, or showering feel exhausting. And again, inside of this mixed bag of words, needing a reset, burnout, depression, they are all in there. So these are things that I am addressing. Even when you see that word reset, I am addressing burnout. I am addressing depression. I am addressing fatigue across the board. These are the things that we're talking about. All right, spiritually, twin silly. Spiritual signs, loss of purpose. Once again, feeling directionless, unfulfilled, or unsure of what you're working towards. Once again, purpose right next to God, which I believe is He is who grants us our purpose, even if we're still trying to figure out what it is in some areas. When those things are lacking, um, life can get a lot foggier. So holding on and gaining and retaining um, clarity on your purpose is super important. Number 2, emptiness despite achievement. Even after hitting goals or milestones, you feel unsatisfied. Number 3, disconnected from self or others. Feeling isolated or misunderstood, even when people are around. Number 4, neglecting reflection or spiritual practices. Skipping rituals like prayer, meditation, or time alone with your thoughts is a sign spiritually that you are in need of a reset. And number 5, emotional heaviness, carrying unspoken grief, guilt, or unresolved emotions that linger beneath the surface. And I'm glad this is the final one. This is a huge one. This is a huge one that we see in our families. And I cannot, I will never push somebody to the forefront to say, hey, you need to tell me what you're going through. But I will say you need to deal with it, that we all need to deal with it. And we can see in our families, especially with our skin tones, a lot of things are not talked about, but you can feel, you can see spiritually over years and a lifetime the battles that our loved ones go through, even if you don't know the source of them. So dealing with what's under the surface is so important. Whether it's between you and God, you and a therapist, you and somebody, a confidant that you know will keep what you're going through between the two of you. It's important to find and utilize those sources because it will show in our health, it will show in our attitude, it will show in our bodies, it will show in our reflection, it will show behind our eyes the things that we are not dealing with. No matter how hard, it is important, it is pertinent, and we owe it to ourselves and we owe it to the people around us. So, number 5, emotional heaviness, carrying unspoken grief, guilt, or unresolved emotions that linger beneath the surface are spiritual signs that we need a reset, that we are dealing with depression, that we are on the verge of burnout, that we need to go in and do a little more work to get us back to center. That is important. Yes, I'm super glad that was the one that we fell on. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So here is the floor, always open, but intentionally open to you right now. Whether you're a 3 or a 10, let's all share. If you could take a moment, if you are able to type and respond, to give me one way that we could walk away with committing to get back to center, to get on the lower end of that scale that I put forward. 0 being clear and motivated and energized and focused, and 10 being in the full blast midst of burnout. What are some things that we can commit to personally on this Monday to start this week, that we can implement today, right now, as soon as we hit end or put our phones down, to help us get back to center, to help us begin to reset our bodies, our minds, and our spirits? For me, it is absolutely one that you can guess if you have been here long enough, to get more sleep. That's physically, spiritually, to get back to having more conversations with God. There was a point in my life where I swear it was like 10, 20 times a day where I would just stop and just make room for God, just have a conversation like it was a friend sitting across the room from me. And I think that was like one of the best practices that I've held as an adult. So that's something that I definitely am going to commit to, and to start to strengthen that muscle again, and to incorporate that commitment and habit. And just talking to God more regularly, more clearly, to where it's not just associated with waking up and going to bed. He like incorporating him throughout my day. So that's another one. That's spiritually. And then mentally, I have a pretty good habit of it, but I'll continue to consume content, videos that are motivating and inspiring, that are self-reflective, and that like just help to grow me and to understand myself better and understand people around me better. So those are my 3 ways that I am committing to this space, to myself, in all 3 areas. So if there are some things that you can share with the room, with the space, with Mattie Monday's members and our family, the ears that are listening, those who will catch this episode at a later date and time, what would you share? So Crystal says, taking a moment to just breathe and sit in silence. Simple, but super powerful and major. I would agree. That's a huge one. Taking a moment to just breathe, sit in silence. Yeah, be still. Thank you for sharing that, because that's a huge one. Chevy shares, um, can't spell reset without rest. Absolutely. Absolutely. Rest. That might be a piece of merch that we need to incorporate as well. Rest. Just that simple. Musician Taylor says, yes, be still. Absolutely. Even if it's 5, 10, 20 minutes a day, on the front end and the top end and in the middle of our days, if we can just be still, and whatever emotions come through or don't, or whatever, we just honor them and let them be. If they're heavy, don't own them, but let them flow and respect them and let them go. But yes, stillness, huge, 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 major one. Thank you for that. Dree shares, I agree with being still, more specifically listening to the body and letting that lead me as opposed to my calendar. Oh, yes, that is a huge one. Letting your body and stillness lead you as opposed to your calendar. That's a big one. I know that we all can relate to. Yeah, our calendars a lot of times say go, go, go. And our body will begin to scream just the opposite. Thank you for sharing that, Dree. Sherry said, let me go trademark that now. You silly. Hey, it might be necessary. That was a good one, though. Twin shares, clear your mind of negative thoughts. That's a huge one. Release those negative thoughts. Let them go. Don't own them. Um, don't ignore them, but clear. I love that. Thank you, twin. Definitely. I'm a firm believer in that our thoughts don't belong to us. And I guess what landed me in this space, I guess as a child and early on, is I could attest to, like, sometimes you get some crazy dark thoughts, and it's like, wait, I know I am not this, and I know God said that we are all things, but there are some pieces that come out in us and in our mind a lot that we don't act on, which is a part of our humanity, which is a part of our self-control. But I had to learn that those thoughts are influenced by other things, other spirits around us, content that we consume that get into our mind and our spirits, and which was another testament to guarding these vessels in our eyes and our ears. But I accepted and I acknowledged, and it's my truth that everything, and not even the good ones, we can hold on to the good ones. We're influenced by the beautiful things, but the dark things, the negative thoughts, we don't have to own them. And yes, they come through our mind, and we have self-doubt and anger and things that weigh us down, but I choose not to own them and just to let them go, but to be honest and clear and real about them. But I have the power to release them. So thank you again, twin, for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it through our conversation. And be reminded that you deserve a reset. Your body's telling you, your mind is telling you, your spirit is telling you, your short fuse is telling you and reflecting your need for a reset. So I challenge you to take action and to honor it, to make space. I know that I cannot ever come on here and say, don't do a thing. Pause life. I know that is not our reality on either sides of this conversation or this device. But we can commit to setting markers in our day, in our evenings, to get back to center. So that is my challenge to you. That is my expectation of you. And that is my commitment to you in my world and on this side of this device. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And we're going to get out here with some vibes. And I mean, we're here. We're in the space of introspection and reflection and just encouragement and motivation. So most appropriately, we're going to drop into the visual shot by our very own twin, Dorrell Smith, in our favor. We're going to vibe out like that. I love y'all. I hope that the week gets lighter. The blessing is that we can look around. We can pick up our phones. We can drive a couple miles and get to somebody that we love and that supports us. So that's something that we can continue to hold on to and be thankful for. Let's get into the record. Definitely leave some comments, some love, some encouragement as the record plays. And stay with it. I love y'all, and I am grateful for this space. I will see you in another 7 days. Peace.
I'm sending this to remind you that you are not alone. Hoping that these words, they find you at the very perfect moment. I can't take the pain away, but I can wrap my love around you. I can't stop the rainy days, but I can stand here right beside you. I'm here right beside you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm I'm sending this to remind you, life is working in our favor. Pain, hurt, and tears sometimes blind you, but stay up, stay strong. You are not alone. This message is here to remind you, life is working in our favor. I'm sending this to console you, to give your tears a home. Don't let the anger control you, you will make it through. Those sunny days will come, you will endure the storm. You have much more to do, can't let the darkness hide you. And I pray the light will guide you. Yeah. I'm sending this to remind you, life is working in our favor. Pain, hurt, and tears sometimes blind you, but stay up, stay strong. You are not alone. This message is here to remind you, life is working in our favor. You're never alone, you're never alone. You're never alone, you're never alone. Love is for eternity.